welcome everyone to episode 3 of Tea Time. Today I'm going to just have some fun and do some cleaning. While I clean, I'm going to have you guys listen to some old audio recordings that I made, some old videos. I mentioned before the Tea Time episodes are going to be an hour long each, but I think I'm going to have a little fun with this episode and see how long I can take with this one. So, might be an hour, might be 2 hours, I don't know. But one thing's for certain, that I definitely promise to deliver some old recordings from the vault, and any videos I have on YouTube outside of Tea Time will eventually be taken down and put onto this. So let's just have some fun with this, and the table of contents will definitely be in the description, as I am currently working on these projects. So let's just have some fun with it.
The sun hasn't come out yet, but I want to say good morning. I'm out here walking. It's nearly 7 o'clock a.m. I took the opportunity to get up, start my day out by just taking a walk through the rain. So I guess I kind of had an idea to kind of make videos of me walking every day. Even though I do walk every day, but I haven't really been posting YouTube videos for a while. So I figured I'd try to change that pretty slowly. Work my way up, starting with simple videos of me walking and changing them to videos of me doing the best I can to motivate others, one step at a time. Some nice pine trees over here, 3 of them. Always walk by them. Going out walking right now is very relaxing, and it's really letting me take my mind off of things such as work and here and there stress and whatnot, but every puddle I pass by is really right there. As a reminder of things that come into my head that just naturally fill the holes that were created by negativity, and we're now filled with raindrops of hope. As a little kid going out in the rain, they love to put on their rain boots and their raincoat and just go out and jump in the puddles. And since autumn is basically here, it's very nice to see the leaves falling off the trees and seeing the leaves over the ground. Just how the wind comes into play with all that. The wind is very artistic and making portraits of leaves spiraling around and leaves falling from trees if you're lucky, the leaves may fall over you while you're walking by those trees. And it's a really good feeling. Right now I'm wearing a red sweater coat that belonged to my late great-grandmother, and it's got some leaves on it. So I purposely wore it for the autumn season, so I feel like she's with me during this time of year. And considering the fact that I'm living in the house that she passed away in. Well, she didn't pass away in the house, but it was the house she lived in before she died. The best thing about taking walks that I find is that not only can I improvise and find a new area to walk in, like I'm recently discovering new places that I haven't taken a walk through, like this street down here. I'm actually going the opposite way than I did before, but I've only went down this route once. Things of nature that I can find. There's a fallen leaf just fell. Things of nature that I can find. This is actually surprisingly probably the only second time I've walked in the rain over here. And I'm glad I got my umbrella with me, my rainbow one. And it's still dark out and the sun is starting to shine. Some beautiful rows of skinny pine trees right here. What kind of inspired me to go out and take a walk in nature every day to try to ease my mind actually came from the joy of painting with Bob Ross. I always, I would sit there and watch these episodes he had, and it was like how he would talk about nature and how he would paint and just make a portrait that was just naturally beautiful. It was really inspiring, and I thought to myself, this man is reminding me of how much beauty there is in the world that we are obviously forgetting about. Every day, well, not every day, but on average, 5 days out of the week, I'm working in retail inside of a building, there for 9 hours, and the one thing I learned about working there is that the more I'm inside working, the more I want to be outside in nature. And I'm realizing that I want to start trying to save money and just up and leave this job and just go out and travel. That's really what I want to do. I've always wanted to publish books of poetry. And I'm sure there's a way that I can go about doing that. It's actually quite interesting over here in this little area. A lot of rocks. You guys can see it too well. Probably not, but I just saw a puddle shaped as a heart, and hearts are a very spiritual sign for me. I see them all the time. starting to chirp and sing this morning. They're getting ready for their work shift. This beautiful brick road. Walking is one of the greatest reliefs for, in my opinion, stress and anxiety and depression. Whenever I'm feeling down, I always go out for a walk. Sometimes I call up a friend, or I just keep my phone in my pocket and just walk and walk and walk. And I think that Mother Nature was really nice, and it was really nice of Mother Nature to go and give us this beautiful rain and nice portrait of autumn. And rake up the leaves and just jump right through them. Because that's the best thing about Mother Nature, in my opinion. It gives you that wonderment and imagination of being a kid again. I unfortunately see people nowadays who just, will openly complain about nature. They don't like the rain, they don't like the snow, they don't like how the weather is. And my response to them is that you can't be happy all the time unless you choose to be. And if you're ready to be happy all the time, then you need to learn how to be grateful and appreciative. Two people I used to work with that wanted to do gardening, and the rooster, in Chinese astrology, I'm a Sagittarius, and our animal is the rooster, or I like to call it the cock. Oh dear. Trees. And wouldn't you notice, there's a hammock. So all those guys have fun. Try to see if I have time to go by the trail by the 5-8 nursing home. That's my favorite part of walking. It's just too bad I couldn't find a longer trail. I'm sure eventually I will. Open sky, more visible, and some nice trees around. The month of October is beautiful. Though the beginning last year was pretty hectic for me, it actually proved itself, and actually proving to myself that it can be a better month. And normally October isn't really, like the beginning isn't really a good month for me, but lately it's been giving me motivation to want to try harder, do better at this month. Okay, I got time to go down this trail. I'm not sure if the rain's stopping. I think it is starting to stop. Or if it's trying to pick up. I don't know. But it can rain for as long as it wants. So on my walk, I don't mind it. Although I should get a new pair of shoes, but I am trying to save money. This tree is so amazing. Very different from other trees. It's got a dark purple reddish-like color on the leaves. You can tell how dark it is because the other ones you can kind of see a bit of light in them, and that one you can't. Some nice flowers over here. Oh, a nice big puddle. Let's see if I can jump over that. There we go. Alright. Good full morning for a walk. People have probably wondered why I enjoy the rain. About a couple years ago, almost 3 years ago now, I was going through a stage of Buddhism, and during that stage, I went minimalist, got rid of a lot of belongings, and found myself wanting to learn more about things I was missing on that I wasn't paying attention to. So I watched a documentary, I forget which one it was. I want to say it was Monk with a Camera. It may have been that one, but I don't want to go and say, yes, that was definitely it. Anywho, they were talking about how one of a Buddha's favorite pastimes for the monk is to go and sit on, well, I would call it a porch, but I know that's a totally different term, and just sit there and watch the rain. So every time it rained, I got excited, went out on my front porch, and just sat there, and just watched the rain, and just relaxed. And I took the rain as something to live by, meaning that I can take the rain and the stormy clouds as negative energy that comes into my life, anxiety, stress, depression, whatever, and I can turn those things into something positive because I know for a fact that every time it rains, eventually the sun comes out, and if you're lucky and have the right hope and optimism 3 things I do to try to be happy that will inspire me to find my own happiness. Walking out in nature, watching motivational videos, and writing. But then again, it's more like 7 o'clock, 7:03. When I get back over to the house, walk to the grass here. It's beautiful on this walk today. At work, I go around complimenting people. Customers have passed me by, workers, give workers hugs and handshakes. I always tell them, thanks for coming in today. I'm not a manager, not yet. Just a worker. And, well, I recently told a story to 3 people on why I always compliment people and why I'm always positive to other workers, or try to be. Well, it was very crazy to mark down over 3,000 compliments I've given since March of this year. And what inspired me to want to do that, to want to be this complimenting motivational worker, was that one day when I was working a weekend by myself, stressed out from all the work I had to do, with no help, I was getting upset because of rude people, and I was ready to break down, and still had some time left. Maybe an hour, half hour, something like that. Well, busy day. A teenage girl, or maybe a girl a bit older, and an older gentleman, I assume maybe in the 60s, walked up to me. Because I had a cart full of freight, because I was working retail, and I'm ready to break down. He goes up to me, puts his hand over my back, and says, "If nobody told you you're doing a great job today, let me be the first." I got emotional, and I looked at him and I said, "Wow, thank you. You know, that means a lot to me. I really appreciate that." And he said to me, he goes, "I'm a college professor, and I always tell my young ones that you can achieve whatever goal you want to achieve, whatever dream you want to achieve, as long as you believe in yourself. So keep working hard, because one day it'll pay off." Kindness doesn't have a set goal, and it doesn't have a time frame. Kindness is now, and it's what makes your heart and soul feel the most alive, in my opinion. So with all the motivational videos I watch, and all the music I listen to that can inspire
Easy. Just want to say that any videos that will come up on here that I might have to film, I'm just going to move the camera around and show them. If I think they're important, they're all videos, but I might have some where it's specifically that it's supposed to be a video, not an audio, so that makes any sense. Later on, I will do an update on my zero waste lifestyle, upcycling, and minimalism. Stay tuned.
Walking her car.
Good morning. We're on day 2 of our walking journey. And a nice beautiful pine tree right here. Again, it's pretty dark. And I thought about if I should make more videos like this instead of doing one per day. But I'd rather just do one per day for now, and later on in the future when I'm ready I'll do more, you know, one step at a time. It's a little past 6:30 a.m. I kind of just got out of bed. I told myself that once I get out of bed I'm going to get up and go take a walk. Sun rising over there, and I didn't do yoga or meditation yet. I just kind of woke up, said my daily prayer, and headed out for a nice walk. I don't think this walk will be too long. But I'm still debating. Just see where the road takes us, I guess. Excuse me. This is a very calming way to start the day. A little chilly though, I'll give it that. But winter's right around the corner, so I'm gonna have to start gearing up and getting ready for that season. Over at this house over here, there's a guy who grows tomatoes. One day I was walking on this path here, and they had a sign that said free tomatoes. So it was him, it was an older gentleman, and then someone that's probably in their 30s, or his daughter, and then her son. So excuse me. So I'm walking by. There's a guy walking in front of me, probably like 20 feet away or so, and they yelled on the free tomatoes, and he kind of just like ignored it, you know. I said to myself, I'm like, I'm nervous, but they do seem really nice. So they said, do you want some free tomatoes? So I went over and crossed the road, went over there, and I said free tomatoes, He said, yep. I said, got a smile on my face, they're smiling. And I go, is it organic? And they go, yep. So they filled up a bag of these little tomatoes and gave it to me. And I waited till I got back home to eat them. And they were really good. So one day I'm walking. I remember, it might have been a couple days or so prior to that, or I mean after that, and they called out my name. They're like, hey Dallas, how are you? You know, and it's like, oh good. You know, so the lady's name was Megan, and there was too many names that day. I only hanged out with them once, but I can't remember. I know your father's name. We call him Pa. But anyways, it was really nice, you know. So whenever I pass by that house, it's the first thing I think of. Whoever says that, I always seem to find myself walking on the same trails. And if I'm lucky, I'll go walking even further. One day, I don't know when it will be, but I'd like to record a video of me walking for a total of over 4 hours, maybe even 5. The longest length I've walked in time frame in this area was 4 hours. And I'd like to do that again one day. The greatest part about walking in the morning, being early, and if you're lucky you can get up earlier than the cars, is that it's very peaceful, and you don't really have to listen to people because you're the first one up, and you can just kind of relax and enjoy the time that you have until you have to go to work or until other people wake up or whatever. But the negative side is like when walking and I'm taking videos, you guys can't really see. I mean, look at all those leaves. I'm surprised you can even see that. You guys can't really see all of the things that I'm filming as much as I can. Cameras may be good, but in my perspective, they're nowhere nearly as good as the human eye. And that's just something that hopefully they'll be able to develop better in the future. Whereas right now I'm looking at a trail of leaves on the concrete trail here. A bunch of trees around. You guys can only, from what I'm looking at, you guys can only see some of the trees, and the leaves, and the open sky right there, but you can't see. Unless I aim it down, but you can't see as good as I can how the ground looks, because it looks darker on a camera compared to my vision. But then again, I'm one of those people that has really good eyesight, so I've been trying to do this 30-day water challenge to drink a gallon of water every day for 30 days. The funny thing is that I'm only at my second day doing this, so yeah, that's alright. I'm doing this for energy and positivity, so something to make me try to smile more, and give me the energy that I need when I go to work, and overall just find that happiness inside. But so easy to be overcome by stress, anxiety, and whatnot, but sometimes you gotta make a stand and say, you know what, this isn't gonna control me. I'm gonna be the one in control of who I am. So now the sun's shining more, and you guys can start to see more of the open colors and the light, and that's good. Yesterday, unintentionally, because I didn't really focus on it, I wrote a total of 99 poems. And I realized that yesterday was October 9th, so 999. And it was also the birthday of John Lennon, who was born on October 9th, and I recorded different versions of a song called Revolution 9. Well, yeah, two versions of Revolution 9. So 99, 9, 3 more 9s. So I called my friend and she said, why didn't you want to stop at 100? And I said, well, I kind of wanted to just keep it at the 99 mark because I thought it was really interesting. Plus, where I stopped at was number 1050. So I think that's good enough. I'm gonna take a walk a little further. So I do like the fog over here. That's beautiful. It's so amazing what nature can really bring us. It's a nice little puddle. Remember yesterday I was talking about puddles. There's a big one right there.
Small like that. I got one like that, but I thought you had a wider one. Didn't you know that? You know where it is? Out there?
doing it, which I probably will just end up doing a week of it. You know, starting from 7 a.m. and going down this week to 6:30 a.m. Next week I'll be going down to 6 o'clock a.m. Then week after will be 5:30 a.m. And eventually I'll be naturally waking up in the hours between 3 and 4. I woke up naturally at 3 o'clock today, but unfortunately I fell back to sleep because I was still tired. So I want to learn how I can just wake up and jump out of bed without saying, oh my god, 5 more minutes, and then 5 minutes turns into 1 or 2 hours, and then, you know, slip away from that. It's not the fact that I have to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning for any purpose, really, or even 4 o'clock, or even 5 o'clock. Well, eventually I'm going to have to start getting up at 5. But the 3 and 4 thing isn't exactly when I should be waking up. I realized that a while back when I woke up, and when I used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and nowadays, more recently, 3 o'clock, I realized that those 2 time frames were really, for some reason I felt like they were really valuable to me. It was like a certain time frame that nobody's awake and nobody even dreams of being up that early. And it's kind of just like you can really start your day so early, and you know for a fact that chances are people that you're around probably won't be awake for at least another 3 to 5 hours. So if I play my cards right, I believe that if I do my calculations here, I'd say by like the last week of November or the first week of December, I should be able to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning every day. Because being the early bird is really interesting because as I said yesterday, if I could recall, you're up before the sun, and you get to watch the sunrise. You're up to see the birds. You're the first to make your cup of tea or coffee. You get to do as much as you can in that time frame before other people wake up. You know. Back over to the house. We still got a little bit of a distance. Not long at all. But it's nice and relaxing on the walk. It's still up there. Make sure that you, oh look at that, almost looked like a heart. Make sure that every morning you say a prayer for people, then say a prayer for yourself. Surround yourself with that positive aura, that wonderful energy, and try to give some to others. Inspire people with kindness. Every day, because I have different belief systems, I say prayers. I pray to Buddha, Krishna, Jesus. I pray to different entities, whatever you want to call them. Not because use the term worship, but I completely had it with UW, completely had it with all that stuff. Believe me, I can go on and on and on about why I don't want to go back there. But you know what? Until I see a good change, until I see an apology, and until I see that they are grateful, I'll consider talking to them. But for now, I want nothing to do with UW. This is Dark Rocker, and I'd like to address a company that I created and was taken from me. How can we forget about such a great wrestler? Who I spent a good portion of my life trying to help him. Let me go down the line and tell you exactly what it was like working for UW. Because this video is going to hurt a lot worse than the Dark Rocker ends UW video. I'm going to let out my anger and be completely blunt and honest with this. No holding back, no real life things to talk about. Just honesty of UW off camera and on camera. I have never worked with anybody so violently tempered and easily angry in all my days. And I have actually been familiar with that my whole life, unfortunately. Anytime ideas were brought up, it was, oh, I have nowhere to put that in the script. Yet the script would be rewritten several times. In fact, ideas such as Day of Destruction, December Destruction, Apocalypse, Extreme Emergency, just to name a few, were ideas of Dark Rocker. The actual idea of IKW, XKW, and UW, my idea. I was the one who pitched the idea to do backyard wrestling, and I was the one who actually said that we should go and do it, but I want to have the rights to the pay-per-view names and approve things that have to be approved. And I have been doing backyard wrestling since, well, not really backyard wrestling, but I have been doing this form of wrestling since I was maybe 6 years old, 7 years old, around there. We're going back to like 2001, 2002. Back when I first wrestled Blue Lightning, and then Dragon Warrior X, and then finally Dark Rocker. I've always felt like I was too beautiful to play characters like Amazing X, Death Reaper, and Hellraiser. I could stomach Dark Abyss because, you know, it's part of my atheistic personality that I was trying to fight against. But the Amazing X thing, I always felt like there was a jealous curse behind that. Why was it that whenever I played Amazing X, I got thrown severely where it hurt my back? Or getting choked at a certain event and not being able to see out of my mask because I kept slipping and getting kicked in the head 2 times. To get up and try to reason with someone, having them say, well, that's your own fault. People wonder why I left in 2015. Gee, let's see, because maybe the writing staff was a bunch of negative assholes who always had violent tempers and were out to get everybody. But I guess it's none of my business, really. I guess that's really none of my business. No, all I did was try to be a good friend to the writing staff and offer sustainability on my end, the best that I could, while I was working my ass off and taking care of things. Task one thing, and that one thing is the reason why we're even having this video to begin with. And I could care less about what happens to UW or the fucking writing staff over there, to be completely fair, completely honest. The only thing I really liked about being in UW was being able to share my fashion sense. And you can make a video responding to this, making fun of me or whatever. I honestly don't care. Let's make a reaction video. That's gonna be great. It was always an egotistical thing to always had to be the center of attention. Imagine that had nothing to do with System 3D or Dr. Reality or whatever the hell he wants to call himself. He always wanted to be the center of attention. It had nothing to do with him. He wanted to be there. And let's talk about the reason why I can't even watch UW videos anymore. Let's put music over matches. No commentating. Let's just put music over matches. And worse yet, let's speed up the videos. If that was going on today in WWE, it would make me sick. I always had a great time wrestling, especially at Fighter Finals in Schenectady. But oh yeah, there was just one problem with that. I wanted nothing to do with Schenectady. I didn't want to go over there. I've had times where I didn't want to do something, and I felt forced that I had to go and do it. There was a time that I was scared of heights, and I mentioned that. Then I got pushed off of a roof, because we have to do stuff for the UW fans. Okay, I get that, but what fans? And better yet, were we making any money off of any of this? Nope. He knows what he did. Dark Rocker's never going back to UW. Or Starbreaker, Dark Abyss, Delilah, Star, whatever. I've completely had it with UW, completely had it with all that stuff. Believe me, I can go on and on and on about why I don't want to go back there. But you know what? Until I see a good change, until I see an apology, until I see that they are grateful, I'll consider talking to them. But for now, I want nothing to do with UW. And as far as System 3D goes, it's not my fault that UW ended. It's not my fault that things happen the way they happen. It's not my fault that he decided to take advantage of me and use me. Let me end this this off by saying 3D screwed 3D. And I have absolutely no sympathy whatsoever for any of those people. Thank you for watching. From here on out, Dark Rocker will strictly be only talking about UWA. There will be no more speaking or acknowledgement of System 3D, Dr. Reality, or System 360 from Dark Rocker.
That's crazy. It's actually the guy's birthday too. Happy birthday,
You want
Jake.
to talk about making videos? The fact that I'm the most colorful star in the UWA fortress. You're talking, I'm talking, but what's up? We have yet to do the contract signing. We have yet to go face to face. Because we can't make the plans to meet each other. Well, mark my words. The day that you and I see each other again is gonna be in a car on a nocturnal road, taking a right turn down a street that says dead end at the end. But in reality, be taking a right turn to hell. This is Arthur Curtis, president of the UWA. It has come to my attention that Dark Rocker has been